Hi guys, my name is Vedant Mahajan. I'm the founder of MVM London, and this is the first time I'm going to be speaking in public. To be accurate, this is the first time I'm speaking in public sober, which which doesn't involve me going on the stage at an MVM event and saying something inappropriate after a few drinks. So please bear with me and excuse me if I make any mistakes or I stutter or have any mess ups. So I'm going to start off with a quick background story on myself. I'm going to give you all my entire story, and along the way, I'm going to highlight some key points that have really worked for me, and hopefully they'll work for you guys too. So the first thing is, it's okay to not have a plan. It's okay to not have a plan as long as you're hardworking, you're sincere with your work, and you're working consistently. I mean, obviously, for all those who have plans, that's amazing. That's better. But if you don't have a plan, don't freak out. I've not had a plan. I've never had a plan. So my entire journey, if you now you guys will hear it, you'll know that I've never had a plan. So I've just done things as if it's come and I've put in my best. So yeah, so my journey started two buildings away from you guys in Jamnabai Nursery School. I was in I was in the ISE section of Jamnabai, and we had our board exams coming up. It was December time, and it was obviously New Year's Eve. This is the first time we're probably going for a New Year's party, but we had nowhere to go. Our parents never allowed us to go to any club or a bar because probably it was too expensive. It was not safe at that time. We were too young. We were 16 years old, so we couldn't be going to bars and clubs. So I thought I'd keep a small New Year's Eve party on my terrace. I'll call a few of my friends, I mean, all our friends from our batch, and we'll charge everyone basic cost price and we'll keep a New Year's Eve party. And at that time, keeping a party meant starting a Facebook page and adding everyone to it. Next morning, we went to school, and the entire school was talking about it. All our friends from IB, all our friends from different divisions, they all wanted to come for this party. So we were like, chalo, more the merrier, and we said yes to everybody. Within a week, the entire city was talking about this New Year's Eve party. And our friends from Ambani, Ecole Mondial, Manik G. Cooper, Podar all reached out to us we all knew each other via tuitions and football and all of that. So they all reached out to us and wanted to be part of this party. So we ended up organizing food, DJ, sound, lights, and some soft drinks for 300 people just 2 months before our board exams and 1 week before our prelims. My mom was devastated. She was like, "What is wrong with you? How are you throwing a party before your exams? You're supposed to be studying. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you?" And I had to beg her. I'd be like, "Mom, please let me do this. I promise I'm gonna be learning so much from this. It's gonna be a great learning experience, and I'm gonna learn more from this than I'm gonna actually learn from my exams." And I don't know how they agreed to let me do it. And we threw this party, and it was a massive success. Everyone loved it, and it became a thing. We did it for 2 years in a row. Soon after, clubs, restaurants, hotels started approaching us and asked us to do events in their venues. And that's how MBM in Mumbai started. So as I said, we never had a plan to do this. It all happened. We worked hard. We did our party well. We really made sure we kept up. Whoever came made sure we did a good job. And people started approaching us to do events at their venues. So MBM in Mumbai for its time was very successful for its time. We did over 300 events the last 3 years. And how many of you all have come for a MBM Mumbai event? Okay, not bad, not bad. So it was a lot of fun. The money was very good for a 20-year-old. It was very good pocket money for a 20-year-old, but it wasn't a real business. We did fly down artists from America to come down and perform. We kept some really cool IPs, but it wasn't a business it couldn't be a long-term career plan. And my parents felt that way. Other relatives felt that way. No one took us that seriously. So my family members used to think, "Acha, ye pura raat party karta hai, subah ko der se uthta hai," and that was the whole mentality they had about me. And I was a bright kid in school, so my parents they were very keen on me to go abroad and study, to do my masters. And I thought I was killing it. I thought I'm doing the best thing ever. I'm living in Bombay. I'm throwing these school parties. I thought I was in a damn good place. But they were also smart enough to entice me to go abroad. They were like, "Okay, you should go to London, go to all the restaurants, clubs, pick up these cool concepts, learn from those, get some ideas, and bring them down to Bombay." I was like naive enough to believe like, yeah, fine, cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go there and I'm going to pick up ideas and revolutionize Mumbai nightlife for good. And I ended up going to London. I got into UCL, which is one of the best universities in London, and I pursued a master's in entrepreneurship. So during my first few lectures in UCL, the professor kept stressing on find a gap in the market. Wait, I've missed a slide. Find a gap in the market. They kept saying find a gap in the market, find a gap in the market. If you want to start a business, you want to come up with an idea, you have to find a gap in the market. And at that time, I never really understood what exactly it meant. And I was focusing on going and revolutionizing Mumbai nightlife and going and booking my tables at a club. So my first few night outs in London, I had 2 night outs in London, and that's when I realized that to go to a nightclub in London, a top Mayfair club in London, you require at least £250 per person to book a table, which is very expensive. And the first time I did that, we had the worst service possible. We got the worst table in the house. The staff was rude to us. We didn't enjoy the music, and we didn't know anybody else at the club. We felt like outsiders. And the second time we tried to book a table, we were sent back home. We got bounced off a table. The security said, please go back home. You've given the table to somebody else. Probably a white client or one of the locals had come in, so they gave them the table instead. And I mean, I want you guys also to practice this in your lives. It got me thinking that as a customer, whenever you guys are unsatisfied or whenever you're not happy with the service you're receiving, start thinking why you're not happy. Don't just be content not being happy. Keep thinking if you were the producer of the product, how would you make your customers happy? And that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I want to go on a night out, if I'm spending so much money to go out, I want the best service possible. I want the best table. I like listening to Bollywood music post 1:30, and I want other people in the club around who I know. So I want to socialize. I'm going out for that. And that's how the idea of MVM in London started. And we also learned this in university that once you have an idea, test out your MVP. An MVP is a minimum viable product, which is like a prototype. So before you go for a full-fledged and you go full-on with your product and invest money and do all of that, test it out in a small-scale situation, see the response you're getting, and then go for it. So I knew I can't go to the big club straight away. They'll surely reject me and they're not going to like let some random Indian boy do an event like that. So I went to an Indian restaurant. I spoke to a small Indian restaurant. I explained them my concept and I asked them if I can do a night over there. And they too had nothing to lose like me. So they gave me a night. It was Diwali time. So we kept a Diwali party in London. I thought I'd call 50, 60 of my friends, whoever I knew in London, and I'd probably personally curate the music, curate the decor, the sound, the lights, everything according to what I felt was missing from my night outs. And I wanted to see the reaction. Would people like it? Would they not like it? And we ended up, MBM was quite popular in India at that time. So instead of 50, we had like 200, 250 people come in. And we got a very good response. We kept the event, people loved it, and overnight, MVM in London became a thing. Everyone started asking me, when is your next event? How do we book tickets for the next one? And I got the confidence that, okay, fine, I can do this now. I got the reassurance I needed, and I was confident of starting MVM in London. So as I remember, I used to go to at university till 3 p.m. Right after university, I went straight to Mayfair in the cold with my puffer jacket, and I was waiting outside the big clubs trying to get a meeting with one of the managers. Because I didn't know anyone from before, so I went outside the clubs, I was standing outside and trying to get a meeting. I got rejected by each and every club. 8 out of 8 clubs I went to, they didn't let me inside to meet the manager. The 9th club finally let me inside to meet the manager. And I had this whole presentation, whole pitch ready where I was explaining them my concept, why I want to do this, how it will benefit them so much, how much money they'll earn. And they gave me a night which they are usually shut on. So they gave me a Monday night, which is the worst night of the week to do an event. And that's all I needed. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Because if I could pack a small Indian restaurant, I'm sure a top Mayfair club, if I do my concept over there, it would be good. So I went all out with promotions. I made sure this was the best event ever. We focused on customer service. We focused on the best music. We focused on all the things I felt was missing. We focused on that again. And the night was a massive, massive success. People went crazy. People loved it. And it was amazing. We did 4 events that year. All 4 won the top Mayfair clubs, and they all four were as like one better than the other. At that time, I thought I'm like the king of the world. I thought I've killed it. I'm throwing these big parties in London. Life can't get better. I've done it. I've peaked in life. And just when I felt that way, the pandemic hit. The pandemic hit. I was sent back to Bombay and I was devastated. My entire bubble was busted and I was sitting at home, depressed. At that time you couldn't even speak about a party. You couldn't speak about an event because during the pandemic, talking about a party is like the most wrong thing you can do ever. And people are like shouting at you if you're talking about a party. So I was sitting, I was opening my phone and I was scrolling. My internet search history was, when is the pandemic going to end? When is the vaccine coming out? How much time does it take for COVID to get over? So I was doing these things and just wasting my time. And then it hit me that I can't be sitting and just wasting my time and doing nothing. I have to do at least something that is a little productive when I'm working on my skills and I can't just be sitting. So I thought if I can't take the people to the party, why not take the party to the people? And we started this cocktail premix idea called Blend with Benefits. So Blend with Benefits was basically ready-made cocktails we delivered to people. We came up with that idea. And it was more of a hobby than a business, but it kept me motivated. I was at least working, I was being productive, and I was learning things. Finally, the pandemic came to an end. And this was my chance to go back to London. What I'd been waiting for this whole time, I finally got to go back to London and start my thing. And then I decided, now I've got this chance. I've waited for 1.5 years. I'm going all in. I'm going with full focus and I'm getting rid of any distractions. I used to love watching TV shows. I used to binge watch Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and all these shows. In London, when I went, I made sure I didn't have a TV in my house. I made sure there's no distraction for me, which my focus has to be on the target. I used to love playing FIFA. I used to play FIFA all night. And I didn't have a PlayStation in London. I made sure I'm cut myself from all distractions. And I went all in. I approached the same clubs. They obviously had known me from 1.5 years ago. And they gave me the events. And we worked hard. We went in. And now 3 years later, MBM in London has become a huge thing. People fly down from Mumbai to London to come for these events. People decide to pursue studies in London so that they can attend MBM events. And it's become like family and very big amongst the Indian circle in London. So life was very good. I was loving the way it was going. But then 2 instances occurred. These are like life-changing instances for me, which really changed my entire thinking. They aren't some really big instances. They're very small instances, but they made a major mark in my life. Number 1 was, I was scrolling through TikTok on a Sunday afternoon at home. And this is very popular TikTok where this man goes outside clubs and bars in Oxford Circus in London. And he asks girls coming out of them that what is the one ethnicity you would not date? Or someone from which country you would not want to be in a relationship with? And they all kept saying Indian. They say, oh, Indians smell bad, they smell like curry, they are taxi drivers, they are shopkeepers. That's the vibe they had about India. So that really hit me. And number 2 was, I was at dinner with a very famous nightclub owner in London who's very influential in the hospitality industry. And he sat me down and he was like, Vedant, your events are so much fun. We had no idea Indians party and do all these fun, cool things. And that's when it hit me that he said we used to watch Big Bang Theory. Raj from Big Bang Theory would not be able to speak to girls. He was a loser. He was very awkward. We didn't know you Indians party so much. And you guys are like, you guys can have fun. And I took these 2 things very personally. It took me back in time when I got rejected from clubs for being brown. And all of that, it just really hit me. So after that day, I started thinking in a different way. All my business decisions I made weren't just for my personal or MBM's personal success or gain. It became more about showcasing our culture, showcasing how cool India is, showcasing our music, our everything to the world. So I took more decisions with a global perspective. So be it MBM Land. We did MBM Land, which is the first Bollywood hip-hop festival in the world, where we had Don Toliver, Rema, but we also had DJ Chetas and Mickey Singh performing. We got Lil Pump and Ranveer Singh under the same roof. We got Chuck Bass to come and host an event in London, and then come all the way back to Bombay to host an event in Bastion. And the biggest of them all, we got Kanika Kapoor to sing Baby Doll in Mykonos. the first ever Bollywood event in Mykonos. So it's the party capital of the world, and you have Kanika Kapoor singing Baby Doll, and everyone's there. So yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying, oh, we've changed the world, and we are the reason why for now, I mean, we've done it all. Or we're representing India, we have some brand ambassadors. But in every small way, it is you're trying to showcase that how we are not just what you think we are. There's so much more to us. And I know we're making a small but significant change, because I do know that Chuck Bass did go back and tell his friends that, oh, and for this Indian party, it was so cool. As a matter of fact, the same nightclub owner who was there who told me about the Big Bang Theory story, was at Mykonos for the event. And he and his friends had the time of their lives. So yeah, even when people now come up to me and they tell me that, oh, I met my partner at an MBM event. Or when I came to London, I was homesick, I was sad, I didn't know where to go, I felt very like out of place. And then I started coming to MBM events, and we found our entire friend circle. It's become like a family thing now, and we feel safe coming to these events. And very recently at a Halloween event, we had a man propose to his future wife. So these are the stories that motivate me more to work harder, to strive to work better. Obviously, money is very important. Making your career is very, very important. That's how it all started. But now when you have you're working for a greater cause, you have a greater motivation, I feel. So yeah, I'm just going to go through all my points, what I've really believed in. And the most important one of all of this is, be prepared for daily obstacles. It's not as sexy as it seems. My life on Instagram looks like I'm having the time of my life. I'm partying with celebrities. I'm always at clubs. But that's just the iceberg which I'm showing you guys. The main crust of this is the work we put in to get that, to achieve that. So we put in days and hours. We have sleepless nights. We have not even one event we've had which has gone without any mess ups. There's always been something that's gone wrong at an event. Either it's the artist's visa is stuck, or the DJ is not on time, or the club's sound and lights are not working, and the blame will only come to us, because it's an MBM event at the end of the day. So it's not as easy as it seems. Do not think that everyone's living. I mean, it always looks better from the other side, but it's pretty hard. It's okay to not have a plan. If you don't have a plan, don't worry. You are young. Just put in your best, work hard, work sincerely, and things will come up for you guys. And number 3 is just do things. Just do it. If I was shy and I didn't believe in taking risks, I would have never kept that first terrace party. If I didn't keep that first terrace party, nothing would have happened. So participate in college stuff, in festivals, do more things. Keep yourself occupied so you know what you're actually good at. And very important is that no business is small. People thought of me as a nightclub promoter first. No one took me seriously. So everyone starts off small. That's what an MVP is. Start off small, see your results, and if you work hard, you will get big. So this is it from my side. I hope I managed to inspire you guys somewhat. And hopefully you guys can come here and do a TED Talk soon. See you guys.